Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. It's so good to have you here. I'm excited about today's recipe because I have something really interesting to share with you. There is this popular puff puff that has been trending all over Instagram and YouTube, like it's all over social media. You might have seen or maybe heard of this puff puff. It's called the Milky Way puff puff. In this video, I'll show you how you can make this puff puff in the comfort of your own home. Like you can make this puff puff in your own home yourself. So if this is something you enjoy watching, kindly sit back and watch to the end, and please don't skip any part of this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you're yet to do so. My name is Oge and you're welcome to my kitchen. I'll start by adding my flour into the bowl. I already sieve my flour. It is always advisable to sieve your flour to avoid ending up with unwanted particles. I use 4 cups of flour for this recipe, and 4 cups of flour is equivalent to 500 grams of flour. Because I'll be adding condensed milk and milk, I used 1/3 cup of sugar because I don't want it to be so sweet. I added 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder is totally optional. Half teaspoon of salt, and I gave the dry ingredients a good mix until they combine properly. Next, I added warm water. You have to use warm water for this. I added the water gradually until I achieved the perfect consistency. If you're new to the channel, a warm welcome to you. You'd love it here. Kindly consider subscribing and also turn on the bell icon so you're the first to get notified whenever I upload a new video. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are the best. I appreciate you so much. I see all your love, your support, and I don't take it for granted. I see the shares, the likes, and the comments. Keep them coming. I love reading them. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. From this video, you'll notice that the batter is really smooth. There are no lumps, and the batter is not so sticky, and it's also not so runny. So once I've achieved this consistency, I'll cover this with a kitchen towel, keep it in a warm place, and allow it to rest for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. During this time, the batter will double in size, so it's advisable to use a bowl that will be able to contain the size of the batter after it doubles. One hour later, I went back to check on the dough, and as you can see, it has doubled in size. I'll give it a good mix to get rid of the air bubbles. At this point, you might want to go in with your hands. After giving it a good mix, the next step is to fry the puff puff. You start by adding cooking oil into your pot and you allow it to heat up. You have to fry puff puff with a lot of oil if you want to enjoy puff puff. You have to deep fry it. So if you don't have enough oil, I would suggest to use a small pot, maybe the smallest pot you have, so that once you pour the oil in, it rises to a certain level, because puff puff needs to bounce back up once you've dropped it into the oil. If it doesn't bounce back up, you won't get exactly what you're looking for. So once the oil is hot enough, I'll introduce the puff puff, and try to regulate the heat after you add the puff puff, because you don't want it to be so brown on the outside while the inside is undercooked. I'm getting better at molding puff puff. At this rate, I'll be a professional at molding puff puff really soon. The first time I made puff puff, it was really difficult for me to mold it. I was using my spoon to scoop the batter into the oil. I'll drop a link to that video in the description box below. You might want to check that out. So once I've added all the puff puff into the oil, I'll fry until it's golden brown, and then I'll scoop it onto a paper towel to help soak any excess oil. If you're still watching to this point, thank you so much. You're the best and I'm truly grateful. Please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Share the video with your family and friends. Leave me comments in the comment section. And please subscribe if you're yet to do so. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you're missing a lot. Please hit the subscribe button. I'll repeat the same process for the rest of my batter. I've finished frying the last batch of puff puff, and this is what it's looking like. What do you think? I think it's looking yummy. Let me show you what it looks like inside. The puff puff is so hot, and you can see how fluffy and soft it looks inside. This is just so amazing. We'll finish with the puff puff, and it's time for us to move on to the last step of this recipe, which is to add some other ingredients, or would I say toppings, to the puff puff. The first one I have here is powdered milk. This is Peak full cream powdered milk. You can use any milk of your choice. I think any milk would do just fine. And then I have this Sebon condensed milk. You can use any condensed milk you find available to you. This is the one I was able to get in the supermarket closest to me. And lastly, I have Oreo biscuits. I don't think this recipe will be complete without Oreo biscuits. I think it just adds that finishing to this recipe. So now that I've introduced you to the toppings, let's get on with it. I started by placing the puff puff nicely on my plate, and then I went in with the powdered milk. I sprinkled enough over the puff puff. Use as much as you like. After the powdered milk, I went in with the condensed milk, and I drizzled a lot of condensed milk over the puff puff. You can also use as much as you like. Condensed milk is really sweet, and that was the reason why I didn't add so much sugar when I was mixing the puff puff. After drizzling the condensed milk over the puff puff, I added the Oreo's biscuits to give it that very beautiful finish. You can see how beautiful it's looking already. And then I went in with more condensed milk. This is it, guys. This is the final look. Let me know if you'll be trying out this recipe. Will you spend money buying this, or would you want to make yours at home? Please don't forget to like, share, and give this video a huge thumbs up. Thank you all for stopping by, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye.